Hi, welcome to class. I'm Laura. Today's practice will be short and gentle and focused on helping the spine feel good, particularly the low back. All you really need is your mat, and if you have a big pillow or a bolster, that will come in handy also. So we're going to start off lying down. So whenever you're ready, just find your way onto your mat and lie down with your knees bent and your feet on the floor. You can take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and let your inner knees touch. And then just place your hands somewhere on your body and close your eyes. And take a few moments to sync up with your breath. Feel the breath move in and out through the nose. And encourage the body to relax. So if there's anywhere that you notice you're holding on to tension or any muscle energy that's just not needed right now, see if you can invite that to soften with an exhale. And it might take a few exhales, and that's okay. And be familiar with your usual suspects. So where this tension often lives. And you might have to revisit that part of the body a few times and just remind it to soften. From here, we'll open the arms out, maybe to your sides, maybe in cactus arm if that feels good. Separate the knees, but keep the feet nice and wide, maybe as wide as your yoga mat. And then just start to rock the knees from side to side. You can go nice and slow here. This does not need to be rushed. We're just starting to get some movement through the hips, the pelvis. It should be nice, slow, lazy, leisurely. The next time that your knees come up, keep them lifted and walk your feet in so they're about hip width apart. We're going to do some pelvic tilts here. So we're just moving the pelvis, and you'll feel this also in your low back. So as you inhale, press your tailbone down to the floor and feel the skin of the low back lift away from the floor. So you're arcing the spine here. And as you exhale, press your low back down into the floor and feel the tailbone, the very bottom of your spine, get a little bit lighter. Keep going like that, inhaling to press the tailbone down, and then exhaling to press the low back down. Just keep going like this. Notice if one of these feels easier for you. Notice if one of them feels like more of a stretch. It's all useful information. And we're just getting the pelvis moving. So sometimes when we sit a lot, our pelvis can become sort of stuck or fixed in one position. And this is a part of the body that really benefits from mobility. So all of these opening movements, we're just reintroducing some gentle movement. And come to that posterior tilt. So the low back pressing down, tailbone a little bit lighter. Place your palms down next to your hips. We'll inhale to lift the hips up. and then exhale to lower them back down. And you're keeping that length in the low back as you do this. So we're not arcing as we come back down. You can lift and spread your toes here, activate the feet, and then really engage your glutes, especially at the top of this action. The strong glutes are really important in having a healthy, happy low back. So if this is not something that you do a whole lot of, I recommend doing these glute bridges whenever you can, or things like squats. Really, really have helped me as well in getting a happier, healthier low back. The next time that you lift the hips up, hold. We'll just take a few breaths here. Again, think about lengthening your tailbone towards the backs of your knees rather than arcing through the low back. Good, and then gently release back down. You can let the inner knees touch once again, close the eyes, and just feel. From here, we'll extend the legs out. Take your right leg and reach it a little bit out to the right. So not right in front of your hip, a little bit out. Take your arms up and overhead. And then pick up your whole shoulder girdle and shift it to the right. Move your head as well. You can let your left hand rest in the palm of your right hand. And then option to cross your left ankle over your right ankle. So you're coming into a nice side body stretch here. Kind of making a crescent shape through the body. Just take a few breaths, really settle. Feel the right side body as it contracts and the left side body expand, especially from hip to armpit. And then come back to center. And we'll switch sides. I'm going to move my bolster out of the way. Take your left leg out to the left. Pick your shoulders up, shift them to the left. Move your head in line. Right hand can rest in the palm of your left. And then option to cross your right ankle over your left ankle. You can turn your head a little bit to the left and then just soften. And then bring yourself back to center. Place both feet on the floor. Point your knees up towards the sky. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. And then hold on to the right thigh. You could clasp your hands around the back of the thigh and start to stretch your right leg towards straight. You can always use a strap here, but we're not going super deep. So you can just hold on to the leg wherever it feels good. And then press this time, make sure that you're pressing the sacrum down. So we don't want the low back pressing and the tailbone lifting up. We want to really root the hips down towards the earth. Then just press your thigh into your hands if you've got this clasp. We can bend and straighten this leg a few times. And then keep the leg towards straight and just breathe. Release. And we'll switch sides and draw the left knee in. Then hold somewhere onto the lower leg. Press your hips down and begin to extend the left leg up. You can bend and straighten this left knee a few times, waking up the hamstrings. And then maybe keep the leg moving towards straight for a few breaths. And then release and hug both knees in towards your chest and rock a little bit from side to side. This might feel like a nice massage as well for your low back. We'll come into a twist here. So drop both knees over to the left. You can always place your bolster or pillow beneath the knees or between the knees. And then take your arms out wide, maybe to a T, maybe to cactus. Where you can place your left hand to your outer right thigh. And if it feels good, turn your gaze in the opposite direction. Inhale, the knees back to center. And then as you exhale, lower them over to the other direction. Again, take your prop with you if you used one. We're trying to get the opposite shoulder grounded. So make sure the left shoulder feels supported here. Again, you can pad it with blankets if you need to, or lift the knees up so that the shoulder can ground. And then take the knees back into center. Bring your palms out to your sides, palms face down. Keep the knees lifting up, and we're just going to drop the knees towards the left and then towards the right. So this is a rocking action. The knees aren't coming all the way down. And you don't have to go super deep, especially if it causes any strain. Again, we're bringing some rocking action into the pelvis. A little bit more of a dynamic twist here. Keep the shoulders grounded. And then bring the knees back up to center. Flex your feet and stack your knees over your hips, ankles in line with knees. Bring the palms of your hands onto your thighs and then press your thighs into your hands and feel the low back again, root down. So engaging a little bit through the core here. Keep pressing hands and knees into one another really strongly. You're doing okay here, so you can stay here. If you want to explore a little bit more, you could extend your right leg and your right arm away from one another. Keep pressing left knee and left hand. And then bring the knee back and switch sides. Good. Press, press, press. And then release. Take your hands onto your abdomen. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Locate your pillow or your bolster here. And we're just going to slide that underneath the knees. And come to lie down again. So the bolster is sort of under the hamstrings or the backs of the knees. Again, you can let your hands rest on your body or out to your sides and notice what the spine is doing. So if it feels overly arched, once again, you might pick your hips up lengthen your tailbone and then place the hips back down. So you're just cultivating a little bit more space through the low back. Then close the eyes here. And just settle downwards. Feel the body spread evenly in all directions like a pool of water. Check in with those usual suspects of tension in the body. And again, invite them to soften, maybe more than once. I'll leave you to rest here in this resting pose as long as you would like to remain. I hope that this practice helped. Other great things to do for the back are going on walks, standing up after you've been sitting for a long period of time, strengthening muscles like the glutes. So keep doing this video over and over. I hope it offers you some support. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in another class.